wonderful seekers of inspiration. We are back again. Suresh Menon, Rotarian Suresh Menon from the Rotary Club of Deonar. I'm a proud Rodeo. Rotary Club of Deonar members are called as Rodeos. We all know that, right? Deonar is this wonderful little beautiful, I can't have more adjectives to describe the suburb, which is based in Mumbai, which is in India. That's where we are shooting in from on another episode of the Rodeo podcast, where we celebrate humanity. We celebrate angels who touch lives in such a passionate manner that humanity really gets blessed. I have two amazing guests here with me, but before that, let me say hi and welcome and total gratitude to my buddy Piyush Bhatia. Hey Piyush.
Hi Suresh.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being that eternal pillar for our club and for the mission of Radio Rodeo. Thank you, Piyush. No words can be enough to express our support, express our thankfulness to what you do for us.
Thank you, and it's always a privilege to help do podcast for Rodeo Radio.
Thank you so much, Piyush. And behind the camera is a non-smiling. He's smiling now. Chirag Aggarwal, who is really directing this show, and he, along with Piyush, have made this very, very gadget-friendly and ready to shoot Radio Rodeo. Thank you, Chirag, for being a wonderful director of this show, of the YouTube specialist that you are. We look forward to the rodeo messages going across on various platforms. Thank you, Chirag, and thank you, Piyush. On this episode, I'm excited. Is it okay to be excited being a Rotarian? What do you think?
Yeah.
You come from an illustrious family of so many Rotarians.
Absolutely.
But you are in one.
Yeah.
Okay, why are you out?
I'm waiting for somebody to invite me.
Oh, is it? Wow. So I think the queue is got here, right? Okay. Look at that. He's the friend of Rotary. That's what Rotarians does. You get invited automatically, right? You are here to give to society. You really want to contribute to life, and that's when the Rotarianism comes out. I'm here with me by our Bhishma Pitama. He may not like the word Rotarianism, but there's a new word which could coin today. Thank you, Mr. Jaitley. Thank you, Mr. Gadgil. Rotarian Prakash Gadgil, Rotarian Kulbhushan Jaitley, and a very unique episode. Here in front of us, Piyush, we have the legendary founder member of our club, 35 years of our club, the infrastructure of our club, the pillar of our club. And on the other side, we have got the baby of the club, Prakash Gadgil. So the 1-year member and a 35-year member. And I was looking at their profile and I couldn't imagine, because universe plays a role to conspire.
Absolutely.
Both of them are engineers. Both of them are in the world of quality. They have owed their background to quality and quality control. Here is Rotarian Bhishma Pitamaha Jaitley ji, who basically I'm going to call him in this show as KB. Okay, Rotarian KB, that's a good name for you. And he's basically moved from being an engineer in BARC, worked in the Dhruva reactor and that extent, and moved down to set up his own business in the area of non-destructive testing. Somebody who's an extremely focused, quality conscious entrepreneur who set up businesses wherein I know for a fact his employees feel that they're not employed but they're part of a family. That's the culture KB sir gets for his employees and for his staff. That's the true magic of somebody who's a true angel at heart. Alongside is Rotarian Prakash Gadgil, and Prakash comes into this wonderful podcast by being a convener of the Quality Council of India, which is by legislation of the Government of India, an act of Parliament. It's a legislated body, and he's been the convener for not one but for 3 years. Somebody who practices Kaizen, TPS and all of those quality practices to make sure that our products and services and our delivery mechanisms are in place. Somebody who's been an engineer and an MBA graduate, they really come across focusing on the fact of quality. So I'm sure in the projects that they do, that's what comes out. It's not about just doing a project, Piyush, it's about also making sure it's done in a sensitized manner. It's done with the right kind of productivity, make sure the right impact happens. So how else can it not happen but for these amazing quality champions whom we have us in the fold in Rodeo? Piyush, any questions on the fact of, you said, how does it life feel being a non-Rotarian?
Absolutely.
And you've not been invited? Would you like to ask them about their life before and after Rotary?
Yeah, so I think one thing I would like to add to Rotarian Jaitley's introduction is he's the founder member of the Rodeo Club, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not only just 35 years of
Yes.
legacy, but
But the founder
35 years of compounding experience that he carries.
Absolutely.
And it's my privilege to ask Mr. Jaitley is, what does it mean for you to be a Rotarian?
Normally, in our society, we are all busy with our profession or business and then our family. We are living for ourselves. But then, there is a whole lot of people are there who are not as privileged as we are, and we thought that we should carry them along with us. So we go out to not only charity per se, but we go out then to embrace them with open arms and then take them along with us on our journey of life. We have a lot of projects we do as a Rotarian, so many people are their members, and then we do what possible help we can give them to elevate their sufferings and eliminate their sufferings and then elevate to a better level. When I became a Rotarian, that is almost 35 years back, at that time the polio eradication program of Rotary was started. They had promised that within, when the Rotary is 100 years old, will eradicate from the face of the earth. And believe me, they have done it almost about 95% of the job, though it is India is free from polio. So we were very much busy in that, and I feel I am a complete man when I started doing projects of Rotary.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it. So, mind you, the owners of Raymond, the complete man is not the one who wears the suit.
Yeah.
Right? The complete man is one who is a Rotarian, who
Right.
feels fulfillment, right?
Yeah.
That's an absolutely wonderful saying, right,
Yeah.
Piyush?
Also, if one has to learn to play with words, I think they should come to you, Suresh.
Not just. So, I'm going to speak to
Yeah,
Prakash about,
yeah. So, Mr. Prakash, Rotarian Prakash Gadgil. Yeah. So, for you, what does it mean to be a Rotarian or live a life of being a Rotarian?
See, I've spent about 48 years in the industry, in me, mine and mine. So, when I was about to retire about 3 years back, I had planned my retirement. And then I was thinking as to what should I do post-retirement. Because 48 years, long years, where you work for a particular corporate. And then suddenly one day you know that you don't need to go to office. So that's a big impact, I thought, because I'd seen a couple of people who really went into nervous breakdown. So I said, now what options do I have? So when I was looking around for various options, I have a very close friend in Pune who advised me that to join Rotary. And now I realize that his advice was absolutely on dart. And I find that the life definitely has changed post joining the Rotary. Of course, I am not as veteran as my colleague Mr. Jaitley is. Nevertheless, I have started making a journey. Let's hope I have ample of time with me. So let's hope with my expertise and other things, we can take up things ahead.
Very nicely said. So, Piyush, it's about completeness and filling the vacuum in our own lives, like Prakash said, and the vacuum in the lives of all around us, like Jaitley ji said. That's the essence of Rotarianism, right?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So we move on now. Piyush, you want to help me take it forward without any wordplay?
Yeah. So
I can get into some hard play now. So let's talk to the hearts here.
Yeah.
So these are angels. I mean, if you go and write probably a bestseller novel, I can become probably a world-class successful writer right now if I tell about the chronology of impact which Jaitley ji has done. And good thing I don't have to pay him royalty because he's such a wonderful hard person. He will not ask me for royalty. But let's ask him in that 35 years. You know what I'm saying? 35 years, as in 1 year is 52 weeks. I can't even get the math right. 52 weeks into 35 years. That many weeks. of Rotarianism is what Jaitley ji has practiced. And why do I say weeks? Because in our conversation leading up to the podcast, Piyush, if you remember, Jaitley ji mentioned about the fact that in the polio camp that Jaitley ji referred to, in the polio eradication, 50 weeks, they had 2 camps per week. All of 50 weeks, barring 2 weeks in a year, that's the mission that they got into the street. By the way, if those of you are mistaking, Mr. Jaitley is not the health minister of India, okay? Yeah. I'm just clarifying, okay? We haven't voted him, but he is talking about the fact that he and his Rotary club members in the fantastic club of Rodeo, Rotary club of Deonar, went and did 50 weeks of 2 camps per week kind of involvement in areas where there was ignorance, there was suspicion, there was worry, and they made sure that the place around became polio free. That's the kind of dedication which comes to the table. With that experience, let me try and ask a very what is it called? Adventurous question. Yeah. In all this history, Jaitley ji, what is that one memorable experience that will stand out?
I'm trying to ask.
So let me see. Well, I'm trying to ask. You can see me nervous, Piyush?
A little bit.
Yeah, but the question is, I'm going to ask this adventurous question.
Yeah.
And the adventurous question to Jaitley ji is, in this entire solid background of his history and that experience, if I were to ask you, hazard you a question saying, which is that one memorable experience, Jaitley ji, which comes to your mind? One, okay? Yeah. What would that be? I don't think it's a valid question, but let me try and see what he says.
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to that to really inspire us, sir.
We came across another Rotarian from Netherlands who was visiting his factory, who had put up a factory over here in Mumbai, and he wanted to come to, he being a Rotarian there, he wanted to visit one of our club also, our activities. So when he came to our club, and then we offered to him to come to villages nearby, because where we were doing a lot of work over there. He found, he was greeted by small children of that on a Sunday. Those people, the teachers have just brought about 30 or 35 kids of all the ages. And when he found that they are not having even shoes or chappals, and they were sitting on the mud floor, there was no floor, pakka floor. And then they greeted him, stood up, welcomed him, and they were all mixed classes, being a Sunday, so they just collected the kids of all type of classes, first standard, second standard, third standard, fourth, fifth, and so on. And then he was so moved that he went to the corner and he said that, excuse me, he was sobbing over there. Then I put a hand on here. Jack, what is the matter? These kids are angels, and we are having in our advanced countries like Netherlands, that they are rascals. They don't respect their elders and all that. So we must do something for them. And then our association started, which lasted till now also for the last 25 years, I will put it. We have donated 2,500 plus desks for the children. We built the schools, and we gave them all that wherewithal what they want, and we have now come to such a stage that we are putting solar panel for them. We are putting that electronic blackboard for them. Not only one school, we are talking about 35 school, and which has extended to 52 now in the Karjat area of, that is in the neighborhood of Bombay. I happened to apply for a global grant wherein they will match our contribution, and then we can take it forward for the, and for me the first thing was that not defecating in the open, that is clean drinking water and sanitary facilities. So our grant was approved, and then we put up 35 toilet blocks in 35 villages, which has now gone up much more, and for water they are 38 or 39. At that time we put up hand pumps. So with this, the transformation in the lives of those people, and then there is no ending to it that we have giving them medical facilities and all that. So it was a life beyond whatever we imagined, and then we were all sold to the Rotary principles, and that we carry on with the rural areas because there the need is maximum. There are many more things to talk about that we can speak. That we took that for their this one farmers, a group of them we took to Israel at our own expenses. Then they were trained over there for the modern way of farming, and they offered, whenever you start your projects, we'll come on our own expenses from Israel and help you out. So that is the Rotary. Rotary has no end to what we can do.
Superb. And you know what, Piyush, I was talking to Jetli ji, this absolutely Bhishma Pitamaha of knowledge and passion and serving humanity. I realized that the fact of the name of Rotary, the name Rotary was coined by rotating. A friend going to another friend and a friend going to another friend. That rotation of going to each other's office or home was the essence of how rotation happened, and Rotary came in. So ROT is for rotation, and look at the way this rotation and rotation and rotation in the Rotary clubs have made this a flat world, a flat without borders. Netherlands, Jack to Kulbhushan, Jack to KB, and look at the magic they created. Can you even imagine this? Jack from Netherlands, KB from Mumbai, and nearby Karjat village as now the children, I'm sure if you go and check with them, they have so many innumerable stories that the angels have given birth to more angels. Thank you, sir. Salute you for this amazing event. So community toilet blocks is the other thing that Jetli ji has been passionate about, apart from the polio that we mentioned. He's also done remarkable initiative in the area of water harvesting, rainwater harvesting, which I'll come back to him. But before that, let me speak to the veteran baby, okay? The 48-year-old veteran who's also a baby. Look at the irony, but amazing as he looks at, he's much more calm, aching to look forward to. You can see that bliss on his face as Prakash ji speaks about how has this experience in the burns area, how has it been for you? Where do you think is the future going in terms of burns affected and what Rotary can do?
So Rotary is doing a wonderful job for rehabilitation of the burns victims. I personally visited one of the homes, and you know, we all Indians, mothers, I mean, especially what I liked about was the girl who was burned had a real bad shape, and despite her mother worry was, please bring her to do some plastic surgeries, make her marriageable, so that I find her in my lifetime, she gets married and have children and I have grandchildren. I mean, that's the Indian culture that we have. And the Rotary is one of the, I would say, dream partner for that lady. It was not only it's the entire family that we are talking about. It's not only one victim. It's the entire family, and obviously when it's a family, it becomes a community by itself. Because then they know that, I mean, when we went there, suddenly 20-30 neighbors also came in to just to listen as to what we are trying to do and what we are trying to help her and how we are trying to help her. So that way, it's definitely a wonderful job that the Rotary is doing. And as I said, that it's not what individuals, it's for the community. And that's the essence of
so family, community, not for the individuals is what Rotarian Prakash said so amazingly. I want to ask you this question, and before we go to the final leg of our show, and this, to both of you, sir, fellowship and bonding. I mean, Rotary is all about adding value to humanity and projects, right? I believe fellowship and bonding are as important, or is it important to have fellowship and bonding being a Rotarian? First to the master and then to the student.
I can assure you that we had more friends in Rotary than my professional life. Because all the members together we can do much more than individually. So that was our fundamental experience of way of working. So together we go to a group and then we are make our presence felt in front of people. We can address them. As I said that people listen to us and then most of them get converted into what we say, what we advise, what we suggest. So that way we started, you know, it requires money for doing any project and we cannot go and ask the people around in our community. We said that we'll put our hand in our pocket first, and when we contributed in the very first of the year of Rotary, $100 each, 28 members were there, and we collected the money and gave it for polio. So that's why then thereafter we started doing collecting money and all that, and people for deserving causes they collect the money and then give it to in charity, or they go there themselves and help it out to people with the money, because money is one thing which is very important. So what happened with Rotary, one day there was a full seminar was there in London maybe, yes, and at that time after putting meeting the expenses, a $24.5 were left behind, and then there is one Rotarian, Arch Clump. He said that he was the secretary that time for conducting this camp. He said that this is the start of the money. We will now build up a whole new word of Rotary for Rotary, and we'll collect money, and whoever having deserving project and money will be given out of that. I may tell you, we started with a small amount, and now it is more than $1 billion are in the kitty. Wow. And Rotary, this is called Rotary Foundation, that which is the money collected under that. And Rotary Foundation is such a organization which is having the 4-star certification in USA in charity, that minimum administrative cost and maximum it is used for the benefit of the people. So there are many projects they do, and that such projects, polio, as I told you, it has been literally eradicated from the face of the earth, with where Bill Gates, whatever the contribution of Rotary is there, he gives 2 times that much money for the polio eradication. So this is for many years this is happening, and now polio is almost eradicated except for Afghanistan and Pakistan, where the cases are 2 or 3 per year. But we'll have to remove it, that also. Now the question is that we have taken up many more projects toward peace, toward this toilet, that is why sanitation and clean drinking water, that is the way. And then rainwater harvesting, because the water is becoming less and less in the world, and then we used to conserve the water. That project we did also at our club level, and in Chembur area we had 6 such units made by us. That also once again my very personal this one matching grant from USA.
That's what the grant does. So the Arch Clump, I got it right. That became the Rotary Foundation. Huh?
Yes.
What a history. So ROT is rotation going to Rotary. The Arch Clump Society became the Rotary Foundation. Amazing history of this amazing movement that's coming out. But we go back to fellowship and ask Rotarian Prakash, how important, you mentioned about getting into the second innings of your life and fellowship and bonding. How relevant is it being a Rotarian, in your opinion?
I mean, the first experience I would share that all along when I was working, I was Mr. Gadgil. when in the first meeting, nobody bothered about Gadgil. Everybody said, "What's your first name, Prakash?" Everybody started. That itself was such a pleasant cultural shock. Because it's only my very close friends and only the relatives used to call me Prakash.
Right.
Rest for the whole world minus the
Mr.
relatives
Gadgil.
was I was always Mr. Gadgil.
Right.
And that itself brought in so closeness.
Yes.
That I thought it is the place that I need to be here now.
Wonderful.
And of course, we have certain projects in my mind, me and my wife.
Right.
I mean, I'll just briefly spend a minute,
Please.
because I observe that especially many of us, our wives, do not know about our finances. So in case if something happens to us suddenly,
Right.
they are financially illiterate and really don't know where the money is lying. And of course, I'm going to pursue Rotary to bring in that let the woman be financially literate, and let's put in some efforts to bring in the transparency. You know, the latest RBI report says there are about 46,000 crores lying in bank unclaimed. That means the person would have died, and his family doesn't know about that money. So, that's a big thing.
Absolutely.
So, if we also take that project,
That
I would
is right.
really love to
Wonderful.
contribute to that project.
Wonderful. Here is on the show, Mr. Gadgil becoming Prakash, and the birth of a new project of financial literacy for the women folk and all around us, so that money really makes the difference for our legacy moving forward. That's the impact. So look at the way fellowship can really add value, bonding can create magic, meaning to our lives. So Rotary is not about just reaching out, but also reaching out within ourselves by connecting with friends. That's what I hear from these two amazing gentlemen, Rotarian Kulbhushan Jaitley and Rotarian Prakash Gadgil. It's a real pleasure and honor to be with two amazing fellow rodeos as we go and steer towards the end of the episode. Any final words from the two gentlemen, and then over to you, Piyush, and we reach a destination where the eternity looks up to us. Yes, sir.
Thanks for calling such a junior person like me in the Rotary for such a podcast. And I'm thankful to all of you for whatever you have done to me.
Thank you, sir. Can you believe this? Prakash is telling he's a junior person, okay? We are going to have a debate off the camera, but I'm going to have this. He said he's a junior person, okay? And there is our director Chirag Aggarwal saying, guys, we're spot on. We're supposed to wave out and look at the camera, right? That's what Chirag says. Thank you, Chirag. With gratitude, the book and everything. I carry this book and carry this phone with me because I have this care. Do I miss out something to say about this illustrious gentleman? Because I feel guilty if I miss out even a small thing. But I've given up because the epic background that they have got, I can't cover it all, but you have to feel them. I'm so glad, Chirag and Piyush, that this is not only an audio podcast but a video podcast, because the viewers and the seekers can really see these wonderful angels for themselves. Audio was only listening, but you can see them, and what their eyes and their face communicates is much more than the words which comes out. Thank you, Piyush, for being this amazing pilot on the show. And any final words which Piyush can have, and we end. How can we not end by giving the last word to Mr. Jaitley? Piyush, anything you want to say?
Yeah, so this episode was so amazing. We could see two extreme ends with the same intention, with the same rigor, participating in various Rotary projects. And salute to Mr. Jaitley, year after year, 35 years, he's been participating, and still, I think it looks 35, right?
Absolutely. Raring to go.
Yeah, raring to go.
Yeah.
So this is really charging me up.
Yeah, thank you very much. So we're going to be coming back on another episode of the podcast Radio Rodeo very soon. Watch out, because angels are always here to shower us with love, with reaching out to humanity, and humanity is in absolutely safe hands, whether it's Israel, whether it's Karjat, whether it is Netherlands, or whether it is Mumbai, whether it is Deonar, or whether it is elsewhere. Humanity in safe hands, because angels like these amazing rodeos take us and make sure that we are in safe hands. But that's about from me. But the show will end with final words from Mr. Jaitley, and we sign off. Yes, sir.
I just will like to say that I call upon the people to come join Rotary and then see that there is an entirely a different type of world where we are not living for yourself but for the community. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Thank you.